The Butchers of Utah Who Sold Human Flesh to Customers. Strangest Cannibal Families. 1804-1873. Open book story. Dark historical horror style. 1+ hour, estimated 7,000+ words. Intro 0 to 2 o'clock. Spoken in eerie tone over dark ambient music. Narrator. Between 1804 and 1873, deep in the unforgiving deserts and mountains of early Utah Territory, a darkness festered that no one dared to speak of. Settlers came seeking salvation. What some found was slaughter. This is the story of the infamous Thatcher family, better known as the Butchers of Utah, who operated a meat shop on the fringes of civilization, but their meat wasn't what it seemed. Their customers never knew they were eating human flesh, until it was too late. This isn't folklore. This is not myth. These are the strangest cannibal families in American history, erased from records, buried in the sands of time, until now. Chapter 1. The Arrival of the Thatchers. 2:01 to 10 o'clock. The year was 1804. Josiah Thatcher, a deeply religious man with cold eyes and a butcher's hand, left Pennsylvania with his wife Eliza and their 3 sons, Matthew, Caleb, and Elias. They followed the Mormon migration westward, settling in a remote patch of what would become Ogden, Utah. Though outwardly God-fearing, the Thatchers held beliefs twisted by pain, loss, and delusion. Josiah believed in blood salvation, that one must consume the flesh of the unworthy to purify the soul. They built a butcher shop in 1821, Thatcher and Sons Meats. It would become popular among settlers and soldiers alike. The meats were always fresh, always tender, but no one ever saw any cattle. Chapter 2. Disappearances begin. 10:01 to 2000. By 1830, stories of missing travelers began to spread. A family of 4 heading to Oregon vanished after spending a night near Ogden. 2 fur trappers went hunting, and never returned. Locals whispered of skinning sheds in the woods. Bones found stripped clean, but there were no charges. No one dared accuse the Thatchers, not openly. They were respected. They tithed to the church. They fed the hungry. Until 1838, when Rebecca Granger, a young girl working in the Thatcher smokehouse, disappeared. The Thatchers claimed she ran off with a suitor. Her blood-stained apron said otherwise. But the sheriff found no body, no crime scene, and no one dared dig beneath the butcher shop floor. Chapter 3. Sacred Flesh, The Family Doctrine. 200130:00. In a hidden journal later discovered in 1874, Elias Thatcher, the youngest son, described a twisted doctrine taught by their father. They called it the Sacrament of the Flesh. Greater than, he who consumes the wicked, inherits their strength. They believed the sinners were meant to be culled. That their meat was not murder, but divine communion. They slaughtered drifters, criminals, prostitutes, sometimes even the poor who begged for food. They'd hang them like pigs in the slaughterhouse. Skin them, butcher them, smoke their flesh, and serve them to God's chosen customers. The townsfolk feasted. They praised the meat's flavor. No one knew, until the day one customer found a human tooth in his stew. Chapter 4. The Winter of Hunger. 30:0140:00. In 1849, a brutal winter gripped the Utah Territory. Crops failed, game vanished, people starved, except the Thatchers. They still sold meat, warm roasts, smoked ribs, sausages. People lined up outside their shop, desperate. They never questioned the source. In the woods nearby, settlers found a field of shallow graves. Bodies stripped clean, bones gnawed. By spring, 18 people had vanished. One survivor, Jedediah Clark, a traveler, later testified he was drugged by the Thatchers, woke up in a basement, watching his brother's body being flayed alive. He escaped by biting off Elias Thatcher's ear. That was the first real evidence. Chapter 5. The Trial That Never Was. 40:0150:00. In 1850, the Thatcher home and shop were raided. What they found shocked even the most hardened lawman. A cellar with shackles, blood drains, and hooks. Journals detailing victims. Preserved body parts labeled by gender and age. Even Eliza Thatcher's cookbook, with recipes like Blessed Stew and Redemption Roast. But Josiah Thatcher was never arrested. He had vanished into the wilderness with 2 of his sons. Only Elias was captured, bleeding from the missing ear. But before trial, a fire consumed the Ogden courthouse. All evidence destroyed. Elias died in custody, suicide by hanging, though some believe he was silenced. The town never spoke of the Thatchers again. Chapter 6. The Legacy of Flesh. 50:01 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. For decades, the story was buried. But in 1873, during renovations of the old Thatcher property, workers unearthed 53 human skulls in the foundation. Among them were women, children, soldiers, and travelers. A hidden passage was found behind the fireplace, leading to a bone-lined chamber. On the walls, carved in Latin, greater than, Corpus Christi, Corpus Damnati, Body of Christ, Body of the Damned. Newspapers printed the discovery briefly before it was censored. The church denied all knowledge. Locals claimed the bones were moved and burned. Others say they were quietly buried again. Some even say a surviving Thatcher bloodline continues, running a meat company in northern Utah today. Outro: 1 hour 0 minutes and 1 second to 1 hour 5 minutes and 0 seconds. Narrator. The story of the Butchers of Utah is more than just a tale of cannibalism. It's about how evil can wear a mask of faith, of respect, of normalcy. Behind every butcher's smile may lie a knife. And behind every smokehouse door, a secret no one wants to discover. So the next time your meat tastes too good to be true, ask yourself, where did it really come from? Bell YouTube video package. Clapperboard video title. The Butchers of Utah Who Sold Human Flesh to Customers. Strangest Cannibal Families. 1804-1873. Page facing up description. Uncover the terrifying true story of the Butchers of Utah, a cannibal family that operated a meat shop from 1804 to 1873, feeding human flesh to unsuspecting customers. From religious fanaticism to chilling disappearances, this one-hour horror documentary dives deep into one of history's most horrifying forgotten families. Subscribe for more dark history, true crime, and horror stories. Key keywords and tags: Cannibal Family, Butchers of Utah, Human Flesh, True Crime Documentary, Horror History, Dark American History, Forgotten Crimes, Mormon Cannibals, Creepy Historical Stories, Chilling True Stories, Cannibal Cult, Dark Documentary, Horror History 1800s, Real Cannibals, Cannibalism in America. Megaphone CTA, Call to Action. Checkmark like, checkmark subscribe, checkmark share, brain comment below. Would you eat meat from a stranger if you were starving? Pushpin subscribe for more spine-chilling stories every week. Would you like a full script in a downloadable format PDF DOCX, or a voiceover-style version for narration too?